spookiest time of the year, there are a few guidelines all ghosts and goblins should follow. Always stay on sidewalks. Never go to a stranger's house. And never go out alone.
Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat.
What up, gang? I'm Eric Harrison and welcome back to the Death Twitch Horror Review. And you know what? To get into the spirit of the season, we're going to talk about the new Halloween classic, Trick or Treat from 2007.
There's another tradition. Always check your candy.
We have to get out of here. Weird voices.
Wilkins! Over here! You gotta be kidding me.
I hate Halloween.
Okay, so Trick or Treat came out in 2007, was directed by Michael Dougherty, who would go on to direct the other holiday horror classic, Krampus. So the plot of this movie is it's an anthology film of sorts that follows a group of characters, some good, some bad, as their paths intertwine on everyone's favorite holiday, Halloween. Okay, so this is definitely a movie for Halloween lovers, and when I say Halloween, I don't mean that 1978 John Carpenter classic. I'm talking about everybody's favorite holiday, Samhain. This movie was made with so much passion and love for the holiday. It shows on every frame, and what better way to get into the spirit of the season. So like when October rolls around, you can put this movie on and start getting giddy at the thought that Halloween is coming up, and you can start planning, you know, your costume and the tricks and things you're gonna play on people. It just really captures the spirit of the season very well. Now, I did mention that this is an anthology film of sorts. It's not your traditional anthology narrative, which usually plays out with like a story, the next story, the next story. This one has 4 or 5 stories going on, but they all kind of intertwine with each other and overlap and affect each other in different ways. Now, anthologies usually I'm not real big on. You know, it's like there's 2 good stories and then the rest are pretty bland and you have to sit through some boring shit just to get to the good one. But this one is much more interesting in the fact that it is a non-traditional narrative for an anthology. The way that the stories overlap and interact with each other makes it interesting, and it even makes it interesting for like multiple watches, especially after you've seen it once. Then you can go back and catch more hints and little details that you missed the first time. And it's really cool to see like the same scene play out from different angles depending on which story happens to be told at that particular time. So let's talk about the stories real quick, going through each one and what I think of them. So let's see, there's the opening with the couple. There's, you know, they kind of have to establish these rules, that there's rules for Halloween whether you knew it or not, and that if you break the rules, the spirits that are kind of free to roam on that particular night may get you, you know, and punish you for breaking those rules. So it opens with this couple where it's like one is the Halloween lover and then the other one is the cynic. She doesn't care, so she breaks the rules by blowing out the jack-o'-lantern too early, and she has to pay the price. This is just a short, real quick intro of a story. You kind of get to see this couple throughout the rest of the movie here and there, but this one is really kind of minor. It was just to open the movie. The next thing is that we're introduced to the girls getting ready with their costumes to go out to a Halloween party. And I just want to say right now, yes, there's going to be spoilers in this video, so if you've not seen Trick or Treat, don't watch the rest of this because I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. But anyway, it turns out they're werewolves. God damn it, okay, I spoiled it. I did it. But it's cool to watch it multiple times because then you catch all the little, like, there's just so many hints. All they're saying are like these little werewolf puns, these little wolf hints and stuff like that. So it's pretty funny to watch it back again after you've seen it the first time and go, oh God, how did I miss all that?
Open the door or we'll huff and we'll puff.
You know, this movie is full of misdirects. Everything is about misdirecting you into thinking this is going to play out and really it turns differently. So it's kind of like misdirecting you into thinking that this is a virgin girl and she's looking to have her first sexual experience on Halloween night, I guess. But it turns out they're werewolves, and I want to say that I do appreciate that it's an interesting and different take on the werewolf mythos. Especially the transformation, which it isn't my favorite werewolf transformation, but I give it credit for being creative. And I've never seen anything quite like this. The whole strip tease, kind of bringing a sexy nuance to the Halloween transformation. So that's pretty cool. And props for using a Marilyn Manson song during that scene, because anytime Manson is in a movie, it's always welcome in my book. So then there's the story of the murderous principal, and this is my favorite one. I love this character so much. Stephen Wilkins is his name in the movie. He kind of looks like, he reminds me of like Flanders from The Simpsons. He's got that like overly goody-goody kind of look to him, but he's a serial killer. He's a fucked up guy. But I like the juxtaposition of him seeming like this nice, you know, principal, and then his downtime he's killing kids. And the way he plays the character is very funny. You know, he's trying to hide a body in the backyard and he's yelling at his kid to like go away, go watch Charlie Brown.
In a minute.
Charlie Brown's an asshole.
Billy Wilkins. Language.
And again, we get more of this misdirect where he shows up in the house and he's just acting kind of weird, you know, he's acting off, and you already know he just murdered a child. Is he gonna go murder his son? It gets to be pretty creepy, I must say. It's a bit morbid, which is welcome in a Halloween movie. But then of course it gets even more twisted when you find out he's kind of training his kid to be like him, to be a serial killer like him, and they're gonna carve a fat kid's head as a jack-o'-lantern. Now that's fucked up, but in the best kind of way. Like I said, I just want to say, I love this character and his story so much that I would watch a whole nother movie with just this guy, Stephen Wilkins, because I just think he's funny. Flanders with a dark side. It's kind of cool. Okay, so then some of the other stories we got is the school bus massacre story, which really, it seems minor in the course of things, but then it plays a bigger part in the end. I feel kind of split on this one when the kids are telling the story of the school bus massacre and we get the flashback to the past and what happened. That whole section is awesome. The way it was filmed, the way it was color treated, everything is really great about it, especially the masks. Those old school Halloween masks are the creepiest, way creepier than anything that's made today. Just the aesthetic really pulls me in. When the kids just kind of, it goes back to the modern day kids doing their thing, playing a trick on a idiot savant named Rhonda. I get a little bored, honestly. I get bored with this one. I start to shift in my seat a little bit. I'm like, wait, I want Stephen Wilkins back because that guy's funny as fuck. I will say that I identify with Rhonda. I'm not an idiot savant myself. I'm just an awkward misfit, but I identify with her awkwardness in the movie, the way that she starts going off about Samhain and human sacrifice and these kind of things. And it kind of reminds me of myself, where sometimes I will get lost in my own world of weirdness talking to another normal individual, and I'm not normal, and then it dawns on me like I shouldn't be saying these things and I gotta change the subject real quickly. So I totally identify with Rhonda on that.
Samhain, also known as All Hallows Eve, also known as Halloween. Predating Christianity, the Celtic holiday was celebrated on the one night between autumn and winter, when the barrier between the living and the dead was thinnest, and often involved rituals that included human sacrifice. I like your eye patch.
And then lastly, we've got the hermit story that comes at the end that really kind of brings things all together and wraps up the bow on this story, on all these stories. But yeah, it's this old dude, he's just kind of a cranky old man. He doesn't like Halloween, he doesn't like anything. Like I said, he's very much like the Halloween's version of Scrooge. He gets visited by Sam. Now Sam is the kind of the new mascot for Halloween. He's just this baghead, weird looking little, kind of looks like a little kid in a costume running around. He just keeps appearing here and there throughout the movie. But this is where he really plays a big role, is that he's like one of the ghosts of Halloween past that comes to visit our Scrooge-like character. I still liked some of the other stories better, but this, like I said, at least it does bring some closure to what's going on. It turns out that this is the same character from the school bus massacre. He's the one that basically pushed the bus over the edge and killed all the kids. Now, in this movie, after going through all this fighting with this creature, and we do get the awesome reveal of what Sam looks like without his mask, and I've got to say the pumpkin-headed look is perfect for a Halloween movie like this. He kind of has a change of ways, you know. I mean, a near-death experience with a weird, creepy Halloween monster made him, you know, rethink things. So he's going to try and follow the rules now. He's going to give out the candy. He's going to be nice to the kids. He's going to light up a jack-o'-lantern, stuff like that. But this is not a Christmas movie with a happy ending. I feel like he should have been left alone, having learned his lesson. But like, it's not that kind of movie. So in the end, he still gets his. I don't know, it's a little weird. I would have liked it if he was allowed to learn his lesson and become a good person, but yeah, I guess if you murder multiple children at some point in your life, you have to pay the price eventually. Real quick, we'll just talk about some details like oh, the set design, like props to the prop department, right? Whoever did set design with all these jack-o'-lanterns everywhere and all this Halloween decoration everywhere. It looks beautiful. Like, it just looks great. This is what I mean about it gets you in the Halloween spirit. It is so filled with everything Halloween that you watch it and you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm so ready. Definitely, this is definitely a great movie to play during like a Halloween party because, you know, the volume doesn't even need to be up. You just put the movie on, you could have music going, but anytime anybody looks at the TV screen, there's always going to be some awesome Halloween imagery going on. So it's really a great Halloween party movie. There are some nods to some horror movies, as you would expect. All horror movies have nods to other horror movies, but this is a movie about Halloween, and Halloween itself is kind of about horror. I probably missed quite a few. I'll just name a few that I did catch. Where Stephen Wilkins' kid, a little red-haired little brat, he kind of resembles Chucky with the overalls and stuff. So there's your Child's Play reference. There's the scene with the werewolf girls when I guess they take their victims out to some wooded area with a big bonfire, and that's where they feast. Well, that's very reminiscent of the scene from The Lost Boys, when the Lost Boys attack the group of partiers around the campfire. They're also even playing the Lost Boys theme during a quick section of that part. So you can hear that. There's a little hint there for those of you that can pick up on those nuances. The other thing was, and the scene towards the end when the guy is battling Sam, the old guy's battling Sam, and he like his hand comes off, right, and the hand's walking around, and the guy looks at it and he goes,
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Which is a reference to the John Carpenter's The Thing, where a character says a very similar thing, saying something equally as unbelievable.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
As I said, there's probably a lot of other horror references that I missed, but you know, they're in there, and so look for them. It's a fun little game you can play. The other thing I want to mention real quick is that Michael Dougherty had wanted to make something about Halloween for a long time, and this is based on a short animated film he made in like the mid-90s called Season's Greetings. It's the introduction of the Sam character, and it's, like I said, it's about 3 minutes. It's real short. There's not a lot to it. You can check it out if you want. if you want to see like where this all began, it's a neat little thing to check out and go, oh, okay. So, and then ultimately it became this movie. I'd say that this is a new Halloween classic. It's right up there with all the other ones you want to watch during October. I mean, how can it get much better than this? Let's rate this motherfucker. I would say that I'll probably give it a 4 out of 5. I kind of want to say like 3 3/4, but you know what? There's too much love and passion in this. So I'm bumping it right up to 4 out of 5, man. That's it. Thanks for checking out my video. I hope you guys go out and have some fun, do some mischievous things. Don't hurt nobody, but go out there and toilet paper a house or two. You know what I'm saying? Get laid, get drunk, have some fun. 'Tis the season. Happy Halloween, everybody.